Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Should we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? I actually just tried to use my phone just to like enter into Animal Crossing, which is obviously not something you can do. You got to use the Joy-Con. But yeah, how's everyone doing today? Well, I've got the second session 0, I suppose, of the other D&D group starting today. What I was doing actually for like a few minutes just before starting to record this episode. Oh, I remember what I was going to do on my phone now. Let's go do that. But I was basically trying to look up some portraits, I suppose, of like NPC characters I have. But anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, 6:14 p.m. on Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day, by the way. I actually just completely forgot. That's what's going on today. I think we must get flooded with Valentine's Day letters, right? Which unfortunately we're gonna throw away because this is like our third Valentine's Day at this point, surely. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll talk about Valentine's Day. I'll just say this thing really quickly, and I suppose we'll talk about it more tomorrow. But I was trying to find some, like, D&D portraits for the characters, you know, because obviously a lot of the thing is, like... Is this everyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did we get a double one from someone? I don't really know. We got 2 from Erin, I suppose. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Just completely. Oh yeah, I was trying to look up just like for some D&D like portrait art because I think it's nice to have something visual for one, and two, quite a few of my friends don't have like the best mind's eye, I suppose, as often. Like one of them has aphantasia and everyone has probably something close to it. So I'm just like, it's unfair if I just do everything for it in mind because I'm just like, how are they going to necessarily picture what's going on? So I was just basically just trying to find some art for the NPCs, and I feel like I'm in a bit of a rut where it's just like, oh, you know, I have a specific idea of what the NPC looks like to me, but I need to find art which is reflexive of what they look like. And annoyingly, well, it's kind of like annoyingly and not annoyingly, because I guess it's kind of a point of it, is most of what I find is now AI art. I don't know if you've ever tried like looking for particularly like D&D-esque portraits, but like half of it is AI art, and I'm just like, okay, well, like I get it, but also, you know, I don't... It's a sort of thing I'm a bit like iffy about, because again, I don't love it. Like I'm fascinated by the technology, I suppose, that AI art is from, but it's not something I want to go out actively supporting as if it's just like as if it's a consequenceless free sort of thing, you know. If I have a choice, I'd much rather, you know, try and get like someone else's art that's kind of cool, you know, support them in that aspect. I suppose the most ideal thing would be able to, you know, commission someone to do it, but I'm not made of infinite money, to be perfectly honest. So I will make do with just like taking images I see on the internet and just being like, hey, this is what they look like. But I think I'm in a problem where it's just like, hold on, I want to go to Harv's Island. Where am I going? Well, it's like I have a specific idea what I want these NPCs to look like, so I need to look for very specific artwork in the first place. But then there's not like a huge amount, or at least it's not the easiest thing in the world to particularly find it, which makes it, you know, another added layer of difficulty, I suppose, on top of it. And I forgot where I was going with this, but it's like it kind of annoys me, I suppose. Not annoys, but like it's like the convenience of AI art is just like, I guess this is literally like, I'm not surprised, I suppose, at the point of people using it. It's like I'm trying to imagine like, oh, I'm like working in a company or something, and I just like, oh, I need a cool like decal sort of thing, instead of like going through millions of stock photos. Oh, you just use the AI generator and it gives it to you. I'm like, okay, I could kind of see why the temptation is there in the first place. Not to say that I want to use it, not to say that I'm going to use it. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to try and actively discourage myself from using it. Like, ideally, what I would do is I would draw all these character portraits, because I could draw them. Like, I'm not, like, amazing at drawing every type of fancy creature, but I think it would be possible. But I don't have enough time to do that. I mean, maybe at some point in the future I will start sketching some of the more important NPCs who are like recurring or something, but for now, just to have a visual there, you know, at some point. So I think I'm gonna have to make a compromise. I'm basically gonna have to make a compromise of like the image I find will have to not be exactly representative of what the character appears in my head. Either that, or like I will just like have to start editing some of the other ones. Or maybe I had to start drawing them if I really can't find anything, but I don't really want to do that for every NPC, unsurprisingly. I guess, if anything, it kind of works out because the important NPCs are the ones I would want to draw because they're the ones I have a specific idea of what they look like in mind, and the rest of them can just kind of be whatever. So maybe now I need to start rethinking how I approach this D&D thing. You know, character creation. I should come up with a character personalities, then go find, like, once I have the rough idea of their personality, I go find immediately an art which is representative of them, so I can make that mental link between that artwork and that character. Anyway, sorry, 5-minute tangent about AI art, I suppose, and things related to it. That's a good point. Oh well. I should send a message. But anyway, today's Valentine's Day, so you know I didn't want to start off on such a somber note. Not somber, such like a annoyed note, I suppose. But there we go. Valentine's Day. You know, happy Valentine's to all of you out there. Will you be my Valentine today, etc., etc., etc. I don't know what other sort of things. It's not like. I mean, like, I love yous, I suppose, are kind of like the common thing to say. I was like, there's not really a Valentine's greeting, but I was like, I don't know why you would need, like, a greeting. It's not something you go like, oh, here, hey, random stranger, happy Valentine's Day or something. Or maybe you would, I don't particularly know. Anyway, as I say, is I don't have a special someone in my life. Not yet, at least. Probably sometime in the future, I'd imagine, but I'm not trying too hard. Whatever happens is what happens. I suppose is how I view things, but you know, I don't know. I feel like people, when you are single, tend to get a very bitter view, I suppose, of Valentine's Day, maybe sort of like born out of the envy of not being in a relationship in the first place, which, for one, I understand, but two, I feel like bitterness is perhaps a wrong way to see it, you know? I guess it kind of depends on your view, I suppose, on relationships in general. Like, maybe if you've had a bad breakup recently, you are probably much more likely to, you know, resent Valentine's Day for, like, what it represents in that aspect. But I feel like, you know, there should be days for celebrating lots of different sort of things, you know. Let people get excited about things, you know. It's not like everyone falls into every single category, so it's not like all of these different days that you're celebrating are ones which are particularly applicable. But I don't see why love shouldn't be one which is celebrated, you know. Love itself is the lovely thing. Let people be happy. Let people fall in love. Let people be romantic. Let people be soppy. Those sort of things. No, soppy? Sappy. I was right first time. Let people love, you know. Love makes the world go round in all sorts of aspects. I would say. So, it's, you know, I guess if anything, I find it a bit of a shame that if you're single, not if you're single, but some people who are single find such a disillusioned view of it. As if it's like meant to be a representation of like how lonely they are, when no, that's not meant to be the case at all. I mean, certainly I won't like fault you for being annoyed and like thinking that way, but you know, I suppose it kind of depends more on your actions in the end. As long as you're not going out like actively trying to besmirch people, I suppose, for being romantically entwined, I suppose, on a day about romance, then it's, you know, it's fine, I suppose, to feel bitter. You know, it's okay to feel annoyed at these sort of aspects. But at the same time, I feel like it's nice a sort of representation of what love is and what love could be for you particular. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, you are straight up like, you are in a relationship, that's the only sort of meaningful thing which matters to you, I suppose, on Valentine's Day. Otherwise, it has no relevance to you whatsoever. You can still, like, you know, consider the idea of, like, trying to find, you know, other lonely hearts on Valentine's Day, you know, whether you're actually pursuing a romantic interest or romantic relationship through those sort of things, or just finding something to connect over, I suppose, in that sort of day where you're just like, oh, you know, I'm the only single person in the sea of couples. Or more, I suppose. I don't know. I guess the overarching, I mean, perhaps my overarching attitude to a lot of things in life is just tending to try and take a more positive spin on these sort of things. You know, I guess it's kind of like being happy for someone else, right? I'm sure a lot of people I know who are like romantically entwined or something. I don't know why I'm saying it so weirdly. Romantically entwined feels like such an alien phrase to use, but yet I'm using it. Who have a romantic partner are probably doing like fantastically cute, like romantic things, you know. I'm sure they're going on nice dates, maybe having nice meals, giving each other nice surprise gifts. If anything, I suppose it's a day to show you care. And why shouldn't that exist, is what I say. I don't know if that's necessarily, I'm not sure if it is necessarily a right or wrong way to think about things, but there certainly is a right and wrong way to act upon things in a lot of cases. Anyway, I like your idea of Valentine's Day. Even as someone who is does not have a romantic partner, that sort of thing. I think what it represents is like a nice one. a lot of holidays, or what they come to represent, end up being good things, right? You know, there's a lot of holidays surrounded about, like, you know, family, like friends, about togetherness, etc., etc. If anything, having one generic one for your romantic partner kind of feels like warranted, if anything. I will say, I do like the East Asian, well, part of the East Asian concept, I suppose, of Valentine's and White Day, which I feel like I brought up before. Well, at least traditionally, you've probably seen it in an anime if you've watched any sort of like school-based anime or any sort of like romance-based anime. But the general concept is, on Valentine's Day, women tend to give, or girls, I was going to say females, but that sounds like even more demeaning somehow. Women and girls tend to give chocolates to, you know, from a more heteronormative, I suppose, standpoint, to men and boys that they are interested in. And then, like, a month later, White Day happens, where the men and boys reciprocate that goodwill. Often, that's not really right. Goodwill. Well, the goodwill, I suppose, full stop in general, and reciprocate by giving a present for everyone who gave them a present in turn. Now, you obviously, you know, that's certainly something which is more steeped in much more old-fashioned traditions, but it's pretty easy to see how that could be very easily extrapolated to something much more generic, you know. On Valentine's Day is when you profess love for someone. It doesn't have to be defined by any particular role in society who does it, except for the romantic hopefuls. And then White Day, you know, a month later, is when you can reciprocate those sort of offerings of love through gifts and that sort of thing in return, you know. And I'm just like, that's such a sweet sort of concept, you know. There's both a giving and receiving holiday for both parties, rather than just like one on both of them, I suppose, on the same day. I mean, maybe that's fine, but I don't know. I just always thought that was a bit of a neat concept. To be perfectly honest, and maybe that's my very sort of efficiency-minded brain, like looking at it again, being like, let's make love efficient, or something like that. But I think that's just like a very sweet concept in general, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, that's not really how Valentine's Day works here. Valentine's Day, I don't know, it's interesting to see how Valentine's Day, I suppose, gets portrayed differently in all sorts of different countries, right? And it's not really something I've really thought about all that often, but I wonder what other sort of Valentine's traditions tend to be associated with this day in other countries. Like, you know, obviously from a very Western perspective, you know, pinks and reds as a colour tend to be, and I'm not even wearing pink and red, I'm actually wearing black, but it's a Mickey Mouse sweater. But pinks and reds tend to be very strongly associated with Valentine's Day and that sort of thing, and like hearts, romance, teddy bears, chocolates, roses. But I wonder, like, maybe you go to like a completely different country, this is something like completely different as a representation of like Valentine's and a confession of love. Maybe you go to like Namibia, and they're just like, oh, well, like, why would you do chocolates when you could give like a bowl of fruit or something like that? That's like a better profession, not profession, better. What's the word? Professing, a better way to profess your love. Maybe it is profession if you want to use it as a noun. I never really thought about. Hold on. Noun version to profess. Promise? To make a profession. Oh, it is profession. Okay, you know what? I stand by it. Yeah, so it's interesting to think about. I don't know. I don't even really know the origins of Valentine's Day all that well. I think it's because of St. Valentine's, who, I don't know. I don't know if he was even that associated with love. I guess he must have been, but still. Valentine's Day. Let's see. Oh, there's a Google Doodle as well. Should we see what it is? This one. Is it a game? Is it a chemistry Cupid? That's quite clever. Bond with your fellow elements. Take a quiz. Select your element. Okay, take a quiz. How would you describe yourself? Okay, well, there are 3 states of matter. A free spirit, go with a flow, sturdy and grounded. Sturdy and grounded, probably. Or a free spirit. Am I go with a flow? I don't... to a certain degree. I mean, I feel like everyone is, to a certain degree, all of these. But, if anything, it's kind of like... who am I? Oh my god, I just had another flashback, which I'll definitely talk about at some point. Okay, let's not think about it too much. My initial instinct was sturdy and grounded, so I'll do that. Are you easy to get a hold of? I've everywhere, you can't get rid of me. I'm not too hard to find. I'm impossible to reach. That's probably closer to me. I'm a reasonably distant person. Do you lift weights? Never touched a weight in my life. I pump iron occasionally. I'm all about muscles. I've never touched a weight in my life. Not true, but I don't lift, really. What's your dream house? Cozy cottage, spacious house, a grand mansion. Honestly, it's probably a mansion. I think certainly when I was younger, or maybe like when I retire, I'd like a cozy cottage. But at the point I am at my house, like a dream house would be like, you know, Barbie's dream house mansion or something, a grand mansion. I was drawn to you. No one can resist me. I'm a life of a party. I have a tight inner circle. I feel like people in general tend to like me, and I like to think I'm a likable person. I'm gonna say no one can resist me. Let's be confident. I'm iodine. Interesting. Sturdy, dependable, grounded. I have a talent for highlighting things that are important. Since I see everything in high contrast, I'm a huge neat freak. That's true. I do like to be neat. Oh my god, it's actually like a dating blog for the different elements. Solid halogen. That's true. So I guess what would be my perfect match would be like sodium or something. No, something lower down on group 1, or what are group 1 elements called? Alkaline metals? Alkaline earth metals? No, that can't be right. They're not metals. Group 1 elements name. They are alkaline metals. Oh no, wait, they are metals. For some reason in my head I was like, the only metals are the transition metals, but no, that's just not true. They are alkaline metals. So I see them as iodine. I would need like a rubidium or something in my life. Interest, nutrition, medicine, and printmaking. Interesting. Start bonding. Swipe right on elements that you think you could bond with, and left if you're not interested. Okay. I contain multitudes. I can be pretty volatile, but when I'm on low, I like to go with the flow. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll swipe right. I feel like I could swipe right on anything. It's a bond with good chemistry. Okay. I don't think iodine and bromine do have good chemistry. We're both part of the same elemental group, I guess. Iodine monobromide is an analytical chemicals friend. It's used in color changing reactions. Oh, it's actually a thing? Really? Keep swiping. Oh, I can match with myself. Another iodine. It's just chemistry. Diatomic iodine. It's a great antiseptic. I didn't actually know these are things. To be fair, I'm not like a super expert in chemistry. Nitrogen. If you're looking for a co-parent, you're in the right place. Or a plant co-parent. Cool, calm, and collected, but don't worry, I'll never give you the cold shoulder. Actually, this one, you know, nitrogen, you do see... What?! It just rejected it for me. Serial bonder over here. I hate being alone, but that's okay, because you can't live without me. Short sodium. I mean, that's so reactive. It's got to be a bond. I can't believe Google just rejected me. Oh, that's a nice little picnic thing. Keep swiping. I like how it's informative. Hydrogen, I want to be your number 1. This is really fun. Hydrogen iodide. Iodide. Cleanliness is key. Good job. That's all of the available bonds for iodine. I can't believe it. Start bonding. I can't believe it. Iodine and nitrogen. Can't be, despite the fact that I was just like, that personality there of nitrogen is exactly what I wanted. Oh, thank you, Google, for a very fun sort of thing. A little fun diversion. I completely forgot what on earth I was talking about. I didn't even talk about anything I feel like relevant. But anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been dear darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope you see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye-bye for now.